Hey up, I'm Guy Kester from the Testing Man, and the bike I'm riding today is the Pipedream Sirius S6 Ti. Short travel, super versatile, Ti hardtail. So I'm going to talk you through how it rides on a quick whip down the length of the gorge. Then we'll go into the workshop to talk through some of the tech and design features, because there's a lot going on with this frame compared to a normal hardtail. So for decades, titanium frames have had this near mythical ride quality reputation. And Pipedream even talk about rainbows and unicorns with this Sirius. You know, saying how it makes, because they do a steel one as well, and I will be testing that, but you know, it has this kind of super reputation for super resilient, sprung. Oh, hey up. Hey! Got a really positive ride drive. I'll be riding it a few weeks now, and it's definitely, I would say, on the sharper side of that, and I'm not surprised because it's got, like I say, we'll look at the frame later, but it's got quite a chunky down tube on there. And while the seat stays are, oh, got the clearance wrong there. And while the seat stays are pretty slim, it's got a dropped rear end that keeps that pretty tight as well. So it's definitely a high energy feeling bike rather than just a twangy noodle. But on the other hand, it is the kind of bike that makes you try really stupid kick climbs like that. And while this complete build, which is, again, we'll go into the build later, but you know, basically looking at XT and SIDs with relatively heavy Hope wheels and with time pedals, the special enduro platform pedals, it weighs in 12.5 kilos. So basically Ti, while you used to be able to get super light Ti bikes, they rarely last. So I'd rather have something with the potential to have a long and happy lifetime of shredding than something that's going to tear itself apart. Because although titanium does have this kind of mythical reputation, I've said mythical twice now, of being this ultimate lifetime material, yes, from a corrosion point of view, that's correct, but to be honest, I've ripped more titanium bikes apart in my near 30 years of testing than I have any other material. And I've not even ridden that many. And Pipedream will only warranty this frame for 3 years. But the good news is, they don't want me to tell you exactly which factory they use, but it is definitely one of the better Far Eastern factories. But boy, it probably shifts down there. Ah, it's just a real little punchy little play bike, this. Because the other thing, well, I talked about rainbows and unicorns, I also talk about DOG or dog. Their drop optimized with geometry. Nice in line. Oh. Thanks very much, gents. Cheers. And it's a little hard to decipher in terms of numbers because they list their geometry based on a snag 100mm fork way up. That's been washed away. So effectively, their listed geo is on an 80mm fork, whereas the bike I'm riding is set up with a 120. So while they're saying head angle 65, seat angle 77.5, the actual numbers, right, let's see how this fits going. It's the kind of thing this bike has you doing, just going off and going and looking for that bit of old single track that used to be up here. So the actual angles on this bike, static, around 63.5 degree head angle, and then 74.5 degree seat angle effective, because you've got a curved seat tube. But so super slack front, and then not as contemporary under your behind as Pipedream might have you believe. Plus, they've fitted it out with a Percenti bar and stem, the P dent, which used to run them a lot. Kind of hype up the steering of bikes. The Gen 1 one, so they cracked it. This is a much sturdier Gen 2. But basically, you're looking at an effective stem length of about 25mm. So that creates super reactive front end. But the good thing is, it actually works really well with this super slacked out feel. And then, in terms of rear centre, because you've got sliding dropouts on it, it's sat at about 437 at the moment. But you've got 16mm of adjustment on either side. You've got 16mm of adjustment, so... Oh, I'm doing the maths in my head. So basically, you've got from about fourth... Oh, I'll do the maths in a caption. This is actually way too fun. And this Geo, oh, mind the squirrel, and this bike, as you can see, it proper likes having a go. And while those Hope wheels are definitely on the sturdy side, I mean, it feels really, really planty at high speed. And that is what this Sirius absolutely loves, high speed. And when I put a lighter wheel set in it, that really amplifies that station of the bike. Pulsing and surging ahead. Not when you got the power on, but just when you lift off. It's almost kind of elliptical chainring feel to the way this bike responds under power, as that back end kind of takes up your wattage and then loads it back onto the trail. And I was thinking, well, why would you want such slack angles on a short travel bike? But the more I ride it, I'm like, why would you not? You know, why does your 120mm bike have to feel uptight and a bit nervy? Because 120mm forks now are great. And if you want more bounce, you can put a 29 by 2.6 in it, or 27.5 by 2.8. The only thing you have to watch out for is with this fork on, it's already a tall BB in twin 29er mode. So it measures the same as kind of a low slung 120mm full suspension bike, and that does make it feel pretty perched on slower speed stuff. I mean, it's not as grounded through the turns as it could be. However, that does give excellent pedal over clearance for more rocky, hoppy, rutty backcountry stuff, which is where this bike is obviously going to excel. And I don't just mean that in a single track charger sense either, because as we'll see in the workshop, there's a lot going on to recommend this ride to the long distance haulier as well. And the nice thing about having a short travel bike is, while the Geo, you know, is definitely aggressive anyway, short travel forks aren't going to change much as you drop into steep stuff. So, and obviously there's no change at the rear because hardtail, so it's a very predictable, accurate bike. Again, that big down tube and reasonably sized top tube mean that even if you fluff up the entry, you're not immediately dumbed down and struggling. You just put the power on and up she goes. But it also means you've got really good control over where that front wheel goes. Proper little alive wire this. If Sirius is a dog star, this is definitely a proper little trail terrier. So that's the super lively, responsive single track ride vibe talked about. But how will Pipedream achieving that? And is that going to make it a bike you should get on your short travel, do it all, don't worry about the paint, highly characterful, hardtail, trail bike, shortlist? Well, let's get into the workshop and find out.